tell us kind of where the idea came from, what spurred it on? How'd you theorize the whole thing?
So it came from necessity, personal necessity. So when I was a kid growing up playing hockey, that was my sport. This act of getting your skate sharpened was a task that everyone did in the sport, and they did it like dozens of times a year. And I didn't think much of it as a kid. It was just another chore that had to be done. And it was when I kind of got out into the working world, this is the early 2000s, and all of our worlds were being changed by Netflix and Amazon, and ways to get your dry cleaning done by just hanging it on your front door. There was all these things that were making my life easier, and I was still getting in the car to drive somewhere to have somebody sharpen my skates.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, like, oh man, this is really ripe for disruption. Somebody has to figure out a way to solve this problem such that it gets rid of almost like the last thing I need to do, where I have to drive somewhere to do something. And the first idea was to copy Netflix and send these skate blades around. I imagined there would be these distribution centers, scattered throughout North America. And I would put my skate blades in a sleeve, and I would put them in the mailbox. And then 2 days later, they would show up at my door sharpened. And while I was in graduate school, I actually tried pushing that concept through an Excel model, and was very disappointed when just the capital expenses and the personnel and the real estate and everything associated with trying to solve this problem like Netflix had done with DVDs, it just didn't scale, and it didn't seem like a business I could launch. And it was like later on that when I saw what Keurig had done with single serve coffee, and where they were subsidizing the capital equipment, that like the light bulb went off for me that, hey, that's maybe the plan, is that we build a tool that we sell for cheap, like a printer, and then we can fund the business on the consumables, which is like pretty much how everything works nowadays, right? It's cell phones, it's cable, it's everything is, we're using the fact that we're going to have a tail to the business through the consumption of consumables, so that we can get the capital, which is often very expensive, into the hands of the user.